ball, sent across. Yeah! Thank you! It's a stuff of dream! Dream fun! Live it up, bird boy! Live it up!
Feeling heart of the underground. No one to chase me around. I wanna throw my head in my hand.
Good evening. Good evening. Happy Friday night. Thanks for tuning in to Friday night with Mulv Pick the 11. We got a big FA Cup match on Sunday against Forest at Wembley, FA Cup semi-final. We're all, I hope, still buzzing off of the dramatic 93-21 event from the midweek. Jeremy Doku to Matty Noonge for the finish, and the scenes and the limbs and all that entailed. Magic stuff. Yeah. So let's get everybody's vibes in. If you're there and you can get in the chat, please join along with me and chat and that. This is me once again bored on a Friday, looking just to entertain myself, and if I can rope a few of you along with me, that would be great. Yeah, so still buzzing from the big 3 points. If you listen to the podcast, you'll know I wasn't particularly upbeat about our chances against Villa or our chances of finishing in the top 5 for that matter. Like, keep calling it a dogfight and that, which it is still, but I'm feeling a lot better. Hopefully you're feeling a lot better. More so about, like, the performance. I know a lot of people said it wasn't great, but I thought for, like, our current standards, it was, like, really good. I know we didn't create as much as we used to when we were amazing, but in terms of, like, stopping the other team, that's probably the best we've looked, and like a good team. That's the best we've looked in ages, in my opinion. Big up Cameron in the chat, and Chris as well. Pav, Wagwan Generals. Hope you both are well. Yeah, keep chiming in, lads, if you got thoughts on what I'm waffling on about. Yeah. So, what is it? 4 games left in the Premier League. All winnable games, I think, particularly if we stay in this type of form. I think we're the form team in the league. Won 4 out of our last 5. Yeah. So, tell me your thoughts on this weekend then. Nottingham Forest in the FA Cup semi-final. It's been, I think it was Tuesday since we played, so not a full week off, but, like, you know, a decent amount of rest in between these fixtures, and I think we have another full week before we play again. So, yeah, big up Milo in the chat. What's up, mate? And there's Jake. What's up, buddy? Thanks for checking in. Yeah, so my question is, like, what's Pep gonna do in terms of rotating the squad for Sunday? In that, like, you know, he typically uses the FA Cup to play players who haven't seen a lot of minutes. I know we're in the semi-final now, and that may change his thoughts, but he is quite a. Have you ever seen him asked in his press conferences about having a bigger squad? Have you seen how his face, like he hates it. He hates the thought of having a big squad because he wants everybody to play, and he hates having to leave players out. So I do wonder whether his sentiment for some of the players that haven't played much will overweigh the fact that it's a semi-final, and he's kind of got a good thing going in the form column at the moment with a pretty small group of players. So I'm interested to see what you think, like in terms of what Pep will have in his head about this 11 for Sunday, and whether he'll go completely unchanged, because that was probably one of our best performances of the season against Villa, or if he will give some players who haven't played a chance. So Chris says, big up the Unks. Yeah, the Unks came to play in the last one. And that picture on the golf cart is hysterical. Like, they definitely read the internet. Cameron says we've got to rest the Unks. He wants to see Savio and Grillo. So proper wingers, I suspect. There's Abdi. What's up, mate? Shaping up to be an okay season. Yeah, I mean, nobody. I mean, I guess Liverpool ran away with it in that they've left second place behind, but they wouldn't have run away with it in any other year, would they? So for us to be winning a shout of third, and wow, what if we got second? I'd spend all summer laughing if we got second place. No, it hasn't been a bad season. Depends on your perspective. As a fan, it hasn't been bad. If we finish in the Champions League spots with an FA Cup, or even without, if we finish in the Champions League spots, considering the injuries we've had, plus considering the success we've had over recent seasons, you can't win it every season. You can win 4 in a row, though. But I would say if you're from the player's perspective, you might be upset with the season. If you listen to Bernardo Silva talk, he's always sort of playing down the season's, just the results and everything. Pep, too, in the press conferences is saying it's not been a good season. But we don't have to be. We don't work for the club. We need to be fans, and for fans, it's been a good ride, I would say. Not the greatest season, but it's not. A lot of people would like to be in our shoes as fans, I would say. Yeah, here's Chad. Good to see you, Chad. Thanks, mate. See. Here's Rocket Citizens. He's found a system that's working, so I can't fault him if he keeps it the same. If not, going to be a long wait until the 89th minute subs. Oh, dear. Old misery's here. Craigie Jones. Hiya, Craig. City are shit. Hello. Yeah, we are shit again, pal. All right. Well, we've got a good bunch of you in the chat. Appreciate you joining in. Shall we get to pick this thing? We'll start with the goalkeeper. I think it's quite obvious that it will be Ortega. He's Edison's coming back from injury, and Ortega's the cup keeper anyway. So let's start with him. Let me put my thing up here. Oh, here it is. Okay, here's the technology. Start with Ortega in goal. Okay, that was probably the easiest one. Abdi says, can't believe people call 29 or 30-year-old players unks nowadays. Yeah, for a footballer, it's the latter part of the career, isn't it? That's why. I think it's a funny name. Okay, Ortega in goal. Across the back, he's really found something. And stability across the back is one of the keys to a winning team, in my opinion. So I don't know if you can argue with keeping it the same. Does anybody want to suggest something different at the back? Or would you keep it the same? I mean, how are you going to drop Matty Nunge after that? unless, he feels bad about not playing Rico Lewis or Kusanov. But, Cameron says, would love to see Kus get a chance, but he wants to keep it the same. Gvardiol and Diaz have been good. Vardiol's really helped the build-up, I think. It's nice to have that left foot, right foot combination at centre-back. And then, what more can you say about Nico O'Reilly? In fact, I'm going to put that kid on the pitch as the first outfield player because he deserves it. So I'm going with O'Reilly at left back. I'm going to stick with Nunge at right back, the match winner. Did any of you think he was going to miss that at the back post? I had my doubts. I really had my doubts. Oh, yeah. Rocket Citizens reminds me that Akanji is fit. Fit enough to make the bench. I don't know if I've even got him. I haven't got him on my list down here on my screen. So, for that reason, sorry, Manuel. You're not starting. Let's see. Abdi Salad says, don't fix what's not broken. Same lineup as the last game. Expect Nico G in for Bernardo. Interesting. Yeah, the Nico G thing is interesting. I think what's going on is Pep thinks Kova has got just that little bit more familiarity with what we're trying to do. And now that there's only a few games left, he's going to rely on him. To be fair, he hasn't really messed anything up recently. My fear was he was making some bad decisions, over dribbling, chewing the ball. But of late, he's been pretty sound. So let's put the two centre backs in there. I think we've got to stick with Diaz and Vardiol. Where is he? Diaz and... Oh boy. Tell me I haven't got a Vardiol. How have I not got a Vardiol? Oh boy. My technology's failed me. That's weird. And I don't know. Oh, there's Vardio. Will it let me put him on there? I'm sorry. I don't know how to work this very well. But just Vardiol's in there. Okay. Failed. That's all right. Okay. I've just made the case for Kovacic, so I'm going to stick with him as the holding midfielder. This is going to end up being the same team, isn't it? Has Doku done enough to start? Or has he proven himself to be a really valuable asset to bring on late? Now, keep in mind, if I got this right, that this will go to extra time if it's even after the end of regular time. I think this will go to extra time. So, Doku's a kind of player that would really be good against tired legs in extra time, wouldn't he? Okay, Lou's jumped in the chat. What's up, mate? He says his steaming hot take is bring Doku on around 65. Yeah, I mean, that seems to work, doesn't it? It's worked back-to-back occasions. So, okay, fair enough. We'll keep Doku as a super sub. So, the other one, I mean, you got Foden coming back maybe from an injury too. What about Kevin De Bruyne? I think you just ride him into the sunset. He's gonna make it for me. Then Gundo. Yeah, it's gonna be the same team, isn't it? Marmouche up front, obviously. And then obviously they won't line up exactly like this because we've got a bit of a false nine thing going on at the moment. But then Bernardo. Don't really want to put in there. It's more of a box, isn't it? It's more of this box thing. Or even like a 4-2-2-2 sort of thing. Kind of Mancini vibes. Or 4-2-3-1 Mancini vibes. Where the wide men are sort of tucked in a little bit. McAtee. Why not? Look at that. I'm going to do it like that. And that gaping hole there is Vardy. I just can't figure out how to get him onto my lineup generator. Okay. I've landed on the same team. Abdi wants to see Nico G for Kovacic. Yeah, I mean, they're so close at the moment for me. They're a bit similar right now. That I think Pep's given the nod to the more experienced player. I think we're going to see a lot of Nico G next season. But in this stretch of 5 cup finals, which they all call it, I think it's going to be Kova. But if it was Nico G, I wouldn't be upset with that. Oh, okay. Lou says he'd do Nico G for Kova and Foden for McAtee. Yeah, I mean, I haven't got a problem with that at all. Both sort of like for like at the minute, aren't they? So, yeah, I think he's found something here, at least temporarily. The key, of course, is that when he doubles down on midfielders, that they're able to, play like midfielders and keep the ball properly. That's the thing that they weren't doing. When he was picking them earlier in the season to control the game, to keep the ball, the passing was awful. It was all over the place. And if you can't pass the ball to each other and it ends up at the foot of the other team, and then you can't press or run back towards your own goal, it's curtains, isn't it? It's a recipe for disaster. But once it kicked in that these guys remembered how to play with each other, it's been fine. So I think he'll stick with that. So when you think about that, if you keep it tight, which this will inevitably do, or at least that's in theory will do, and then you're able to bring on, your Dokus, Savinhos, Foden perhaps. Yeah, I mean, you've got some good options off the bench to bring on if this thing should, stay tight late into the game or even go into extra time. I think we set ourselves up pretty well there. Yeah, just keep Silva off the wings. Oh, boy, I agree with you there. When Silva's out doing this thing, it winds me up. He used to be good at it, or at least serviceable at it. Now it's so pedestrian when he's out there. So keep him in here, and use what he's doing. He's using the fullbacks to push up, isn't he? To complete the attack, which is because these guys are rapid, O'Reilly and Nunes, and good physically. It's been a real turnaround at fullback. So yeah, for anybody that just joined, I can't find Vardiol in my lineup selector. So just imagine Josko Vardiol's next to Diaz there. Yeah, so somebody in the chat mentioned that Aina, Rocket Citizen said that Aina's not fit. I saw that as well. He's got some sort of calf injury. Now, this guy had an absolute 10 out of 10 match against us last time we played. If he can't play, that is interesting. That's a player that some City fans are saying would be a decent shout to sign this summer, just for some experience and a high quality fullback you could get for a pretty good price. I don't know if he's a free transfer, but I know it's cheap. So yeah, hopefully he can't play. So there you go. It's largely the same team. I think we've agreed that there's one or two here that sort of like for like that wouldn't surprise us. Foden came in for McAtee, or Nico G came in for Kovacic. But beyond that, I think you've got quite a few days rest for these, and you got something working. I was really impressed with how they performed against Villa. I know Villa weren't great, but I think that's largely down to us. I thought our press was really good, and where we positioned ourselves was really good, and didn't let them turn with the ball at all and sort of dink one over the top of us. We sort of turned them into a long ball team. I don't know what you guys think, and they started trying to ping balls over the top of Vardiol, and he just ate everything up. He was brilliant. So there's Kyle. Hi, Kyle, mate. How would a team? Samir wants to know, how would a team with Doku look like? Good question. Who would come out if Doku came in? I don't think he's going to break up that midfield for. I think it might be McAtee, you know. Yeah, I don't know. I think we all agree in that Doku would be a good sub, particularly if this thing goes to extra time. Abdi has confirmed that Aina is free. Thank you, mate. Hard to deny the Silva Nunes chemistry, says Paf. True. The Portugueses. Love it. Yeah, agree on the press, Lou. It was really good for a bunch of old guys. Now the balance, really what it is, it's the balance between the young guys, Nunes, so like McAtee and O'Reilly, and then Nunes, his sort of energy, balanced with, you know, the experience and the guile of the unks. That's the balance he's found, and it's working. So. As long as the passing and the tempo stays crisp, we should be all right. That's my take. All right. Well, there we go. Any other thoughts? Anyone? Put this back to... All right. There you have it. Our 11 for the FA Cup semi-final, largely unchanged. Shocker. Okay, Abdi wants to know about Morgan Gibbs-White. Yeah, we can have that chat if you want. I said this on the podcast with Joey, but regardless of names, I'm of the opinion that whoever the next generation of England's best players is going to be, City need to sign as many of them as possible. So would obviously include homegrowns too, that may not necessarily be English. But I'm thinking in the vein of, when we brought in John Stones, Raheem Sterling, players like that were on the younger side, but were kind of part of the best England 11 for some time there. I always think about the best teams in the other countries in Europe, like in Germany, where most of the German national team always seem to be Bayern Munich players. In Spain, it's always made up of Real Madrid and Barcelona players. In Italy, it's Juventus and the Milan teams. I think it's proven that it's really important that if you want to be the best team in your country, and obviously because of the rules, you have to have so many of these players. If you can get the best players from that nation to play for your team, you're going to put yourself in great shape. So I think it's City's, the hierarchy's job to identify those players and try to bring them in, no matter who it is. So I think Morgan Gibbs-White is probably in that conversation for one of, going to be one of England's best midfielders in this next generation, in this next World Cup cycle. So yeah, he'd be on my list. People like him, Adam Wharton, maybe the goalkeeper James Trafford, who used to be at City. Let's see, what are you guys saying? Samir is chiming in. Personally, I would sign a world-class number 10 and an 8. Morgan Gibbs-White can be in addition to that. Yeah, I agree with you, mate. I agree. I'm not really good with the names in that. I mean, obviously, I know the really famous ones like Wirtz, but I don't scour Europe for the best talents. Joey's much better at that than I am. But I do know profiles. And I think I've described for your profile I'd be looking for be any good English or homegrown talent in that sort of 21 to 25-year-old bracket, who you project to be one of England's best in the near future. So, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't rule out. I know these are maybe pipe dreams and that, but I'd be looking at Saka. Be looking at Cole Palmer. Yeah. Liam Delap, possibly, if he'd want to come. I don't know. I'd start sniffing around Saka just to ruffle some feathers. You know what I mean? Yeah. Now, I mean, you've got Oscar Bob out there on the right wing, who's pretty sure he's homegrown. Help me out there. We've had him for a long time. You would imagine he'd be homegrown. You got obviously Foden. I fully expect Foden to come back to his best. Grealish, you know how I am about Grealish. I just have these dreams that he's gonna reemerge as a central player. But I think a lot of City fans are writing a lot of City players off this season just because it's been a poor season. I'm not ready to do that for a lot of them. I think that there's a certain mentality amongst a lot of this group, and when they see Liverpool lift that trophy, possibly this weekend, something won't sit right. And they'll be re-energized. So, yeah, I wouldn't. After what they've done for us, I wouldn't count any of these players out, honestly, in terms of their mentality and getting back to the top. So, the time can heal, I think, bad form and maybe a complacency. Again, once they see Liverpool lifting that trophy, that's their trophy. Something will kick in. So I just wish they had a bit longer break this summer than they've got. Yeah, Lou Rodri coming back. Important to the mentality. 100%. He's he's a bit sick, that lad, with drive. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's my basic thoughts on transfer targets and that, and Morgan Gibbs White and the rest. A lot of City podcasters are pretty confident it's going to get done. So yeah, that's exciting. Milo, the entire squad has my love and support for next year. See, this is it. We're fans. We're not on the board. We're not all Khaldoon Al-Mubarak or Farhan Soriano or Pep or whatever. Let them be ruthless. We don't have to be ruthless with our heroes. We're supporters. Let the hierarchy do that. Let's all get behind them, yeah? Thank you, Milo. All right, with that, I'm going to sign off and say thank you to everybody for joining me on this Friday night ahead of FA Cup semi-final this weekend with Wembley again. If you're here in the States, get to your pubs with your supporters clubs and cheer the lads on. If you're going to Wembley, love it. Let us know how you get on. And podcast back on schedule after a bit of sickness ran through the squad. So we'll be back probably late Monday night, Tuesday morning with another Noisy Neighbours podcast on all your favorite podcast apps, except for the one. So until next time, thanks everyone. Ta-ra.